Johnny. We got more enemies today, man. This is ridiculous. Good morning.
Everything about this story that you think you've heard has changed. It's all changed since yesterday.
So
it's a different story today that we're going to be talking about on the show today.
And it seems like the state of the tush push is legitimately in danger. So yesterday when we're on the air, we're trying to do the math of the coaches or GMs that have come straight up and have said whether they're for the tush push or in favor of banning the tush push. There are some guys that are very much on the record. Of course, we knew that there were some teams kind of waiting in the weeds, right?
Jordan Schultz reporting yesterday, he thought there were 16 votes. I know Steve Weish and some of the people at the NFL Network thought they had 14.
Okay, so in the teens.
So, Connor, was still a little more than we thought. I think you said 13, I said 12.
I said 10.
It's a little bit more than we thought.
Yep.
But between the two of them, let's just say split the difference. It was 15.
Okay,
That 15 teams. So almost half the league was willing to say, yeah, ban it.
But not 24.
Correct.
Which is the number that it would have taken for the league to have officially banned the tush push. So here's what happens. When the conversation first comes out, while we're on the air yesterday, Diana Rossini reported that it could just be straight up tabled. I thought that was all right, we have no momentum with getting this play banned. Let's just say to hell with it. We'll try to get rid of it next year, or maybe something will come up during the season. Connor even brought up conspiracy theories of what if guys fake injuries next season just to try to get it
Which,
banned.
by the way, was not outlandish.
No, I don't think so.
That's not
either.
outlandish.
Yeah.
But I think it would only happen on goal line plays.
Right, because you don't want to get taken out of the game at midfield.
Because you don't have to – the only play you have to sit out if you're a defensive player faking it is the kickoff.
Right.
Yeah, I had half a good idea.
No,
I got the rest of it.
I understood what you were saying because there are people that straight up hate the play that would probably go to those lengths to try to prove a point.
Frankie, down the beltway.
Exactly. So I thought the tabled discussion was just like, all right, we'll try this again next year. No. Turns out the tabled discussion is for Roger Goodell and the other owners who are anti-tush push to reconvene, have more time to try to sway the opinion of those who were in favor of keeping the tush push, or come up with maybe terminology surrounding the play itself. There are Bills fans that have been all up in my mention. They don't do the tush push. They just run a sneak. No, you do run the tush push, but they only have one person behind Josh Allen, whereas the Eagles have two, sometimes three players behind Jalen Hurts.
Josh Allen's, 6'5",
yeah,
6'6"?
He's gigantic.
So there's a little bit of a difference.
But there's still pushing of the tush that takes place in Buffalo, despite their hypocrite head coach saying they don't like the play because of the injury risk, and yet they ran it the second most times in the NFL. So maybe the tush push is still allowed, but maybe instead of three guys behind, it can only be one, or maybe there can only be certain ways to run the play itself, but it would still change what the Eagles do. The problem with all of this is now coming from upstairs. This is now coming from Roger Goodell, and I was listening to the Mike Missanelli show yesterday, and Bill found an article in The Athletic from 2 years ago. It was December of 2023, where Roger Goodell did not want the tush push to remain in the NFL. He wanted it banned because he did not like the way that it looked. He did not source any injury concerns. No. He just straight up said, I don't like it. It's not a football
He was Connor
play.
with torpedo bats.
Right.
He took that same old wimpy boy attitude.
Yeah.
Connor with the torpedo
Even
bat.
though it was a legal play, he just didn't like it. And so now the conversation of this being tabled, you're basically being told, all right, we're not going to have it banned in April, but we're going to find a way to have it banned in May.
I think what the key is what Andrew Brandt said, is that the idea is that it's not a victory, because what they did is they put their finger in the air, felt the breeze, saw where the vote was going. They couldn't lose the vote, because if they lost the vote, here's a good one for you. This is getting in the weeds a little bit. When people put up a rule change, and then they try to propose the rule change again with that different wording.
Right.
And it's been shot down once. It gets shot down again like 97% of the time or something.
Okay.
The first or second time they try to do it. Because then everybody thinks, well, you're just trying to just monkey around with it. They didn't allow it yesterday. They didn't allow a vote. So that way they make sure that the vote that comes up on this is one vote, and they hope that they're going to find 24. I don't think they're going to find 24 teams to do it. I still do not. But I think they're going to get a lot closer to 24.
So I saw a tweet from Peter Schrager yesterday.
Of ESPN.
Of ESPN, now part of the family. Hearing the tush push debate amongst the teams is the rare rule change proposal where both sides are not only dug in and very passionate, but there are influential voices making cases to potentially, quote, swing vote on both sides of the debate. This is the story of the week. So, like, this has become, we talked about it yesterday. This is becoming political.
Why, though?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You do, though.
Wimps?
No. Well, that's part of it. But here it is. We can't stop you. So we're going to stop you. We're going to find a way to stop you. And to me, it's the ultimate respect. This is the ultimate. It's not disrespect. This is the ultimate respect.
All right, it's respect, but it's still ridiculous if it does end up getting banned.
We hate it. We hate it because it's happening to us. But I hear Mike Missanelli yesterday, and our own Mike, and I'm a big listener to Mike, and I love Mike, and I've listened to Mike argue this for years. And he's like, you people, you only like this because it's an Eagles thing. Bullcrap, Mike. The majority of teams in the NFL, the majority of votes yesterday were in favor of keeping it.
Right.
So are you telling me that the people in all these other cities, they're doing it because they're Eagles fans? That's a bunch of crap. What it is it's a football play. The Eagles can do it. Nobody can stop it. And so what they do is say, now we're going to try to legislate it.
Right, we're trying to police it because nobody can stop it, which is horrible.
I'm going to disagree, though, with a lot of people. I do not. First of all, I do know they're going to change the wording.
Yes.
And what they're going to change the wording to do, and that little just snake, Matt LaFleur, they're going to try to change the wording so it's about where guys can line up and everything. And they may get more people to support that. But I do not believe they're going to find 24 votes to shut this thing down.
Okay.
Not this year. I don't believe. But this thing's on the heading to extinction list.
So this topic of the tush push has become an oak tree. There are so many branches when it comes to the discussion of the tush push, which is amazing. A play that averages 1 yard is the biggest talking point in the entire NFL.
It's all over the place.
Think about the draft. John, we have Andrew DeCecco coming in studio tomorrow because it'll be 3 weeks to the NFL draft, and that's not even the biggest story in the sport. The biggest story is a 1 yard play.
ESPN overnights did 3 minutes on each half-hour block on the tush push.
It's actually amazing.
I mean, it's like it's the story right now.
Yeah.
It's made the monologues of Jimmy Kimmel. It's made the monologues of some of the other shows.
Well, I told you guys
they're having
a month
fun
or two
with
ago, Daniel Tosh, who, if you
Sure.
remember Tosh.0, the old show back in the
Great
day.
show.
Like, he has a podcast, and his one entire episode was on the tush push. Like, this is left sports. This is now, to your point, become like an entertainment discussion as well. So my first question, because again, it's an oak. There are so many branches to this.
It's an oak.
I want to discuss this a little bit more coming up next, and you're also going to hear from Jeffrey Lurie coming up next, a true football guy.
Oh, he is.
Because Mr. Lurie talks about the tush push and why it should stay. But does this open up like a dangerous door where leagues over-police the sport?
Thank you so much for checking out our content on the 97.5 The Fanatic YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, you can always be checking the playlist. There may be something you missed from one of our shows during the day that you want to go back and check out. So every time you like a video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and you'll have that great content coming to you every single day. You're greatly appreciated.